of an ad. Okay. Okay. So when I was a senior in high school, my dad got a new job that kept him really, really busy, and my mom went back to school to get her master's degree. So I was stuck at home by myself, and I started to eat out a lot. I started eating a lot of junk food, eating a lot of the food that's at school, and I started gaining a lot of weight. And around my sophomore year of college, I realized that if I wanted to start eating healthier, I was going to have to learn how to cook because no one was going to cook for me. A study taken at the University of Alabama shows that on average, 70% of college students will gain weight. The range is between 12 to 37 pounds. The reasons for this are that college students eat out a lot. We have bad study habits. We study late, so we order a pizza to keep us awake. We drink a lot of energy drinks and coffee. And also, we use the vending machines on campus. The vending machines here have a lot of cookies and chips and snacks and delicious stuff that is not good for you. So in this speech, I'm going to demonstrate how to cook a healthy, semi-simple dinner. First, I will demonstrate how to pick out the correct vegetables and make sure they're fresh. I'll demonstrate how to chop the vegetables, how to make a sauce for a stir fry, and also how to cut up the meat for the stir fry. So the first thing you're going to need to do is get your vegetables. You can use all kinds of vegetables. For these purposes, I'm just going to use 4. I'm using onions, carrots, broccoli, and bell peppers. For your onions, there's white onions and red onions. I'm using red onions because I find that they're sweeter, and I like the taste of them better. When you check your onions, they all look kind of gross on the outside just because of the layers of the onions, but you'll be able to tell by the firmness of the onion. Next are bell peppers. Once again, you're going to want to make sure your bell peppers are firm. You don't want them to have any dark spots. Depending on how they're stored, they might have a few indentations, but just make sure that they're firm and not discolored in any way. There's 4 different colors of bell peppers, green, red, orange, and yellow. They don't really taste much different, so it's just whatever your preference is, whichever bell pepper you want to use. For your broccoli, you also want to make sure that this is firm and not too squishy. Also, you don't want there to be too many yellow spots on the actual tree part of the broccoli. That isn't very fresh broccoli. And they come with either long stems or no stem. You can eat the stems, it doesn't really matter which one you get. It's, once again, just your preference. And for the carrot, they all look kind of gross and dirty because they come out of the ground, but you just want to make sure that they are firm and don't have really deep cuts in them. That is not good. So once you have all of your vegetables, you're going to want to cut them. So to start with, for the onions, you're going to cut off the base of the onion. So just cut it off this way, and then continue to peel the outside of the onion, and you're going to want to peel off all the flaky outside layers. Those are the part that look bad, but then as you can see, once you get to the inside of the onion, it looks much prettier and much more pleasant to eat. But there are a lot of layers like that have to come off of the onion before you eat it, just so that you don't get the nasty, dirty part of your onion in your food. So once you have off the majority of the layers of the onion, you are just going to cut them in kind of medallion-like slices that are about 1/4 inch thick. And when you are cutting an onion, you don't want to have your fingers all the way out so you don't cut off a major appendage. Just kind of bend them back, so the most you might do is kind of skin the front of your fingers, which is a lot better than cutting one off. And then just cut in medallion-like shapes. Cut however many you want. And once you cut that, then cut again in kind of a personal pizza style 4 pieces, and then you have little individual onion pieces for your stir fry. Next is going to be your bell pepper. For the bell peppers, broccolis and carrots, you want to make sure that you wash them first, because in the grocery store they're really rude with vegetables, and they just touch them, and people touch them to see if they're firm or good or all that stuff, and people get their hands germs all over the vegetables. So make sure you wash them. It's already been washed. And then just cut off the top of the bell pepper, and you'll see on the inside that it has this heart seed situation going on. And then just cut that out. It's really loosely connected, so it's easy to cut out. Cut that part out. It comes out easily, and then you can just shake out all the seeds. Or if you want to do that part before you wash it, you can wash out the seeds in the sink. And to cut the bell pepper, you can cut it like you did the onions in slices that way, but I find it's easier to just cut it in half and then just cut little pieces like this. However big you want your pieces. I like mine bigger, but some people like them smaller. It's really your preference, once again. So you have your onions and your bell peppers. Next, you're going to need to use your broccoli. Broccoli is really simple to cut. You just have to peel off each little tree, and that's pretty much that with broccoli. And with your carrots, you can use a knife to cut your carrots, but there's this little julienne tool that you can get at a store that I use. And you just use it like a peeler, and it comes off really simply into little pieces. And you can cut however many you want for that as well. Now, once you have all of your vegetables, you're going to want to take them to your skillet that is on the stove with about a tablespoon of oil, any type of oil, coconut oil, olive oil. Put that in there, let it heat up, and then put your vegetables in there, and they will sizzle. Then cover them with a top or with a plate, or you can just let the natural steams come up and cook them. And let that cook for about 10 minutes. Next, you're gonna make your sauce. The sauce is really simple. It's about 2 tablespoons of coconut aminos. You can get those at Trader Joe's. I didn't have any, but a substitute is low sodium soy sauce, so you're gonna do that. Next, you're gonna have 2 cloves of chopped garlic. If you have it in a can, it's the same as just 4 teaspoons of chopped garlic. You're gonna need a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger. It can be real ginger or ginger powder, which is what I use. And you're going to need 2 tablespoons of warm water. So once you mix all your sauce together, set that aside. And now it's time to cut your meat. You can use any kind of meat. You can use shrimp, you can use chicken, tofu, anything that you really want. My recipe calls for a lean beef. So I got the thinnest cut of beef that they had at the store. And what you're going to do with your beef is just cut it into small pieces, however big you want them. You can cut it into strips about this big, about 1 inch. And then from your strips, you're going to want to just cut the beef into little pieces, little bite-sized pieces. That's going to make it easier to cook the meat. So once you've cut all of your meat, you're going to put that into another pan with some more oil, about a teaspoon, depending on how much meat you actually have. You're going to put that into the pan and you're going to cook it. Now that you fast forward about 10 minutes and your beef is actually completely cooked, you take your beef cooked and you take your vegetables and you mix them all together in the skillet. And after you've done that, you're going to add your sauce and mix all of it together. Once you prepared it, you can serve it over rice, you can serve it over noodles, you can have it as your own dish, or you can have it as a side dish. It's really versatile. So in this speech, I demonstrated how to correctly pick fresh vegetables, how to cut your vegetables, how to make a sauce to go with stir fry, how to make your meat to go with your stir fry, and different ways that it can be served. So hopefully you'll be able to make a healthy dinner instead of going out and eating fast food and avoid gaining the college weight that is very common today. Thank you.